Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to talk about strength, not the kind that you can measure in pounds or in feats of physical endurance, but the strength that is woven into the fabric of your character, the strength that emerges in your actions, your decisions, and your resilience in the face of life's challenges. Some of us may not realize just how strong we are, because strength isn't always about being loud, flashy, or brash. In fact, sometimes the strongest people are those who are quiet, humble, and steady. But there are unmistakable signs, 7 of them, that reveal just how strong you truly are. Let's explore them together. A strong person doesn't shy away from challenges. They embrace them as opportunities for growth. Challenges, in all their forms, are a part of life, and while many might seek to avoid them, a truly strong person recognizes their value. They know that stepping outside of their comfort zone is where true transformation happens. When you become resilient, you grow stronger and become the best version of yourself. When faced with a difficult situation, a strong person doesn't get paralyzed by fear or doubt. Instead, they take a step back, assess the situation, and break it down into manageable pieces. They understand that a challenge, no matter how daunting it seems at first, is just a collection of smaller tasks that can be tackled one by one. This ability to break down obstacles into actionable steps allows them to move forward with clarity and purpose. In the face of adversity, strong individuals remain solution-oriented. They do not dwell on the problem, but focus on what can be done to overcome it. They ask themselves, what can I learn from this? How can I approach it differently? This mindset transforms challenges from being threats to being stepping stones. They see every difficulty as a lesson, an opportunity to sharpen their skills, build resilience, and expand their capabilities. The problem isn't that you can't go on or learn from their skills, it's that you haven't tried. Furthermore, strong people understand that challenges often come with uncertainty. They don't expect every step of the journey to be clear, nor do they expect everything to go according to plan. They accept that some aspects will be unpredictable, and they adapt when necessary. They are flexible in their approach, able to pivot and adjust as situations evolve. This adaptability helps them stay calm and collected when others might panic or give up. The U.S. Air Force is renowned for its flexibility, helps them stay calm and collected when others might panic or give up. While embracing challenges may require hard work, persistence, and determination, a strong person finds motivation in the very act of overcoming them. There is a satisfaction that comes from knowing that, no matter the struggle, they have the inner strength to keep going. They find empowerment in pushing through obstacles, and the more they face, the stronger they become. This mindset not only helps them grow, but also inspires those around them to take on their own challenges with courage and confidence. Ultimately, a strong person sees challenges as an integral part of the journey toward self-improvement. They do not wish for an easy life, but for the strength and resilience to handle whatever comes their way. They know that embracing challenges is not just about surviving, it's about thriving. Strong individuals understand that failure is not the end of the road, but a pivotal point in the journey of growth and self-improvement. They view failure as a natural part of life, an unavoidable experience that everyone encounters at some point. The difference between those who thrive and those who falter lies in how they respond to failure. Rather than seeing failure as a personal defeat or a reflection of their worth, strong people see it as an opportunity to learn, adapt, and evolve. Strong people see it as an opportunity to learn, adapt, and evolve. One of the most crucial aspects of learning from failure is the ability to reflect on it without judgment. Strong people do not let their failures define them or undermine their confidence. Instead, they take a step back and examine what went wrong. They ask themselves key questions like, what could I have done differently? What did I learn about myself in this process? And how can I improve going forward? This reflective approach allows them to distill valuable lessons from the experience and apply them in the future. When they fail, strong individuals understand that the feeling of disappointment or frustration is a natural emotional response, but they do not allow those emotions to dictate their next steps. They recognize that it's okay to feel upset or disheartened, but they also know that staying stuck in those feelings is counterproductive. They give themselves permission to experience their emotions, but they don't linger there. Slowly, instead, They channel those emotions into motivation to rise again with even more determination than before. Learning from failure also involves an openness to feedback. Strong individuals are not afraid to seek out advice, criticism, or alternative perspectives. They recognize that other people's insights can provide valuable clues about where they went wrong and how they can improve. They see feedback as an invaluable tool for growth, rather than as a source of shame or embarrassment. By asking for constructive criticism and being open to it, they ensure that their failures become stepping stones toward greater success. Moreover, strong people do not dwell on the notion of perfection. They understand that failure is inevitable in a world where no one is perfect, and they've learned to embrace imperfection. Instead of holding themselves to an unrealistic standard, they give themselves the freedom to make mistakes. They recognize that these mistakes are part of what makes them human, and that the process of failing, learning, and growing is far more important than avoiding failure altogether. This mindset frees them from the paralyzing fear of failure that holds many others back. Another key aspect of learning from failure is resilience. Strong individuals bounce back from failure with a renewed sense of purpose and a deeper understanding of their strengths and weaknesses. They don't see failure as a permanent state, but as a temporary setback. They know that failure is only permanent if they allow it to be. Instead of quitting or giving up, they dust themselves off and try again, often with a refined strategy or approach. This resilience, built from repeated experiences of failure and recovery, strengthens their character and prepares them for future challenges. Additionally, strong people are able to put their failures into perspective. They understand that just because they failed at one thing doesn't mean they are a failure as a person. They know that success is not measured by how many times they fall, but by how many times they get back up. Failure, in their eyes, does not diminish their value. Rather, it enhances their growth and ability to face bigger challenges with confidence. Learning from failure also involves cultivating patience. The process of growth is not always immediate, and progress often comes in increments rather than leaps. Strong people understand that learning from failure takes time. They do not expect overnight results, and they do not rush the process. They give themselves space to learn, adjust, and grow at their own pace, trusting that every step forward, no matter how small, is a victory. Ultimately, the strength to learn from failure is rooted in self-compassion. Strong individuals are kind to themselves in the face of failure, allowing room for mistakes without being overly critical. They treat themselves with the same empathy and understanding that they would offer to others going through similar struggles. This self-compassion nurtures their ability to learn from their experiences without being overwhelmed by self-doubt or regret. It allows them to remain focused on the lessons they can extract from their failures, rather than getting bogged down by negative self-talk or feelings of inadequacy. Strong individuals understand that setting boundaries is not just about saying no, but about protecting their mental, emotional, and physical well-being. They know that in order to thrive, they must create space for themselves, honor their needs, and respect their limits. Setting boundaries is an act of self-respect and self-preservation, not selfishness. It requires clarity, confidence, and a deep understanding of what they need to maintain balance in their lives. People who are strong in this way do not allow others to overstep their personal limits. They recognize that their time, energy, and attention are precious, and they are deliberate about where they invest them. Whether in personal relationships, work situations, or social interactions, they are clear about what they are willing to give and what they are not. They genuinely believe in both rejecting and accepting assistance from others and staying true to your standard of personal and moral character. It's difficult when people start supporting your efforts, but as you're climbing the ladder of success, they do not feel obligated to say yes to every request or accommodate every demand, because they know that doing so would come at the cost of their own well-being. Setting boundaries is also about recognizing when something no longer serves them. Strong individuals are not afraid to distance themselves from toxic or draining environments, even if it means stepping away from relationships, commitments, or situations that no longer align with their values. They understand that being constantly surrounded by negativity or people who disrespect their limits can be harmful to their mental and emotional health. Self-efficacy, as a result, they are not afraid to remove themselves from situations that undermine their sense of peace. Strong individuals maintain their composure even in the most challenging circumstances. When adversity strikes, they don't panic or lose control, but instead, they remain steady and focused. This ability to stay calm in the face of adversity comes from a deep understanding that losing control in times of stress only exacerbates the situation. They recognize that reacting emotionally or impulsively rarely leads to a solution, and they choose instead to approach challenges with a clear and measured mindset. The strength to remain calm is rooted in emotional regulation. People who are strong in this way know how to acknowledge and process their emotions without allowing them to dictate their actions. They may feel frustration, fear, or anger when faced with difficulties, but they don't let those emotions spiral out of control. Instead of reacting impulsively, they take a moment to breathe, reflect, and assess the situation before deciding on the best course of action. This deliberate approach allows them to think critically, make sound decisions, and prevent themselves from making hasty choices that they might later regret. Staying calm also comes from a strong sense of self-assurance. People who remain composed in the face of adversity have a deep belief in their ability to handle whatever life throws at them. They know that challenges are a part of life, and they have developed the inner resilience to face them with confidence. This belief in their own strength doesn't mean they are immune to fear or doubt, but it allows them to manage those feelings without letting them paralyze their actions. The result is that their will becomes powerless over fear, and they experience far more success. Additionally, strong individuals stay calm because they focus on what they can control. In the midst of a crisis, they understand that there are often many factors beyond their influence. Instead of wasting energy worrying about things they cannot change, they direct their attention to what they can control, whether it's their response, their decisions, or their actions. This shift in focus empowers them to act rather than react, taking purposeful steps toward resolving the issue at hand. Remaining calm also involves perspective. Strong people recognize that adversity, though difficult, is often temporary. They are able to step back and see the bigger picture, which helps them avoid getting overwhelmed by the immediate situation. By keeping a long-term view, they remind themselves that setbacks, no matter how challenging, are often opportunities for growth and learning. This perspective helps them maintain their equanimity, knowing that even the toughest situations are not permanent and can be navigated with patience and resilience. Strong individuals understand that true empowerment comes from taking full responsibility for their actions, decisions, and outcomes. They do not shy away from owning their choices even when things go wrong. Rather than blaming others or external circumstances, they look inward and acknowledge their role in the situation. This sense of personal accountability is one of the key markers of strength because it demonstrates maturity, integrity, and the willingness to learn and grow. It takes integrity and the willingness to learn and grow. When something goes wrong, a strong person does not point fingers or make excuses. Instead, they pause and reflect on what they could have done differently. They assess their own decisions and behaviors and determine what lessons can be drawn from the experience. This level of self-awareness allows them to make adjustments and avoid repeating the same mistakes in the future. By taking responsibility, they create space for personal growth and continuous improvement, knowing that they are in control of their actions and that their choices shape their reality. Taking responsibility also means being honest with oneself and others. Strong people are not afraid to admit when they have made a mistake. They don't try to cover up or downplay their errors, as doing so would only prevent them from learning and evolving. Instead, they face their mistakes head-on, acknowledging them with humility and grace. This honesty fosters trust in their relationships, as others see that they are accountable and transparent in their actions. Moreover, strong individuals don't use their past mistakes as an excuse to limit their future potential. They recognize that everyone is capable of making errors, but it's how they respond to those errors that defines them. They don't allow their past to dictate their future, and they do not let guilt or shame hold them back. Instead, they use their past experiences as a source of motivation to do better and be better, knowing that each step forward is a testament to their resilience and commitment to personal growth. Taking responsibility also means making amends when necessary. When their actions have impacted others negatively, Strong people are quick to offer apologies and make reparations. They do not shy away from difficult conversations or avoid addressing the consequences of their behavior. By owning their mistakes and seeking to make things right, they demonstrate emotional maturity and a deep respect for others. Ultimately, taking responsibility for one's actions is about embracing the power of choice. Strong individuals know that they are not victims of circumstance, but active participants in shaping their lives. They accept the consequences of their actions, good or bad, and take proactive steps to improve themselves and their circumstances. This sense of ownership not only fosters personal growth, but also inspires others to do the same. Strong individuals recognize that vulnerability is not a weakness, but a powerful demonstration of courage. It takes immense strength to open oneself up to others, to share feelings, experiences, and struggles without the protective armor of defensiveness or perfection. Vulnerability requires an unwavering trust in oneself and others, an acknowledgement that being authentic, despite potential judgment or rejection, is far more valuable than hiding behind a mask. People who are strong enough to be vulnerable are not afraid to admit when they are struggling or in need of support. They understand that vulnerability is essential for connection and that by showing their true selves, they allow others to see them for who they truly are. This openness creates deeper, more meaningful relationships because it fosters trust and mutual understanding. When they allow themselves to be vulnerable, they invite others to do the same, creating a space where honesty and authenticity can thrive. Being vulnerable also means acknowledging imperfections and embracing them as part of the human experience. Strong individuals are not afraid to show their flaws or admit that they don't have all the answers. They know that no one is perfect, and that it is through accepting their imperfections that they can learn, grow, and evolve. Vulnerability in this sense is liberating. It frees them from the pressures of trying to appear flawless and allows them to approach life with authenticity and grace. The courage to be vulnerable also extends to asking for help. Strong people are not too proud to lean on others when they need support. They understand that seeking assistance or guidance is not a sign of weakness, but an act of wisdom. It takes courage to admit that you can't do everything alone, and that asking for help is a way to empower both yourself and those around you. This openness strengthens relationships and fosters a sense of community and interdependence. Moreover, being vulnerable involves the willingness to share emotions, particularly in difficult situations. Strong individuals do not bottle up their feelings or try to mask their pain. Instead, they express their emotions, whether it's sadness, fear, or joy, knowing that emotions are a natural and vital part of the human experience. They understand that by sharing their emotions, they not only relieve themselves of unnecessary burden, but also create an environment where others feel safe to do the same. Ultimately, vulnerability is about embracing the uncertainty of life and being willing to show up as your true self, regardless of how others may perceive you. Strong people understand that true strength lies in being open, authentic, and real, even when it feels risky. By embracing vulnerability, they open the door to deeper connections, personal growth, and a life lived with greater integrity. Strong individuals understand that true leadership is rooted in compassion and empathy. They lead not by commanding or controlling, but by understanding and connecting with others on a human level. Compassion allows them to recognize the struggles and challenges of those around them, while empathy enables them to feel and understand the emotions of others, fostering a deeper bond and trust. These qualities are at the core of their leadership style because they know that real influence comes from lifting others up, not from exerting power over them. Leaders who lead with compassion are genuinely concerned about the well-being of those they lead. They take the time to listen, to understand the needs, fears, and aspirations of others, and they respond with care and consideration. They don't see people as tools or resources to be used, but as individuals with unique challenges and dreams. Their compassion drives them to create environments where people feel valued, supported, and heard. When others feel understood and cared for, they are more likely to perform at their best and contribute meaningfully to a shared goal. Empathy, on the other hand, allows strong leaders to connect with others on an emotional level. They can sense when someone is struggling, feeling overwhelmed, or facing difficulty. Instead of dismissing these feelings or brushing them aside, They approach the situation with understanding and patience. They ask questions, offer support, and provide guidance without judgment. Empathy helps them build trust, because those they lead know that their leader genuinely understands and cares about their personal experiences and challenges. This emotional intelligence not only fosters positive relationships, but also helps resolve conflicts in a way that considers everyone's feelings and perspectives. Furthermore, leading with compassion and empathy means making decisions with the well-being of others in mind. Strong leaders do not act out of self-interest or personal gain. They think about how their choices will impact the lives of those around them. They are committed to fairness, equity, and kindness, ensuring that every person's voice is heard and respected. Their decisions are informed by a deep sense of moral responsibility and a desire to make the world around them better, not just for themselves, but for everyone they encounter. This is the legacy. This type of leadership also fosters a culture of collaboration and mutual respect. By showing empathy and compassion, strong individuals create an atmosphere where people feel safe to express themselves, share their ideas, and contribute to the collective success. In such an environment, people are more likely to work together, knowing that their leader values their input and is genuinely invested in their growth and success. Compassion and empathy allow leaders to inspire loyalty, encourage innovation, and cultivate an atmosphere where both individuals and teams can thrive.